This one's an old school request, so I broke out the old school equipment, and I kind of have to do this fast because she's leaking. Yeah, it's probably an easy to fix problem, I just haven't done it yet. But the myth is, or the story goes, that if you double or triple pump, that when the two balls come out the barrel, you're going to get the two perfect shots, like, right in the eyes, so it's like, one right next to the other. But I'm just kind of kicking myself because I'd forgotten all about this old thing. I'm now going to take one shot and then carefully put a second one in, and hopefully the two balls are touching each other, because if they're not, this is going to be a mess. But let's see what this does. So 2 balls, 1 shot. No reaction videos, please. Thank you. And what you're probably going to get is probably something very similar to this. Right there. You can see both balls impacting, and they're basically in the same spot. One actually fell a little bit lower than the other because it had a little less velocity than the first one. And that's pretty much what you're going to get on these, is because they're probably going to follow the same line. Unless you have a really bad dimple in one of your balls, it's not going to wing off in a random direction. It's just going to continue going straight. That's physics for you. The other thing too is you got to be really careful about when you do this, and that's because if you got 2 balls in the barrel and they're not touching each other, then you're going to have one ball colliding into another ball that's holding still, instead of having 2 balls acting as one. It all does make sense. It's just physics. And you thought paintball was just a bunch of idiots running around in the woods. Ha! Now the way Dennis described this to me was that he actually triple loaded, and they all went in the same basic area. That's kind of cool. A lot of people would say, well, why in the world would you want to put 2 or 3 balls together like this? Well, when you're playing pump, you kind of got to make your shots count. And a lot of times, if you're playing pump in the woods, you got to cut through grass. Now, if you're using a semi, you just mow through it. You just shoot a bunch of shots, and the grass falls over one side to the other. If you got a pump gun, you can't really do that. So one of the old school tricks is to load 1, 2, maybe 3 shots, and then shoot so that maybe the third shot will get through the grass and hit whatever you're trying to shoot. Now, would I recommend doing this all the time? Heck no. I would not recommend that you guys do this a lot. This is just one of those special techniques that can come in handy once in a while. That being said, it's a pretty cool party trick. A friend of mine... Oh, don't tell me I just blew a seal on top of it. Yep. Been one of those days.